Hi, I'm Dean Richards. I'm a first-year public ally, and I was placed with Pittsburgh Cares. If I were to ask you, how was your morning? What were some great things that happened in your morning? You might say, the birds were chirping, the sun was out, the weather was nice, or you got a free parking space. That's wonderful. My morning, however, it sucked. I woke up to neighbors arguing. That's horrible to start with. And then after waking up the neighbors arguing, I said, oh, shoot, let me, rush and finish the project. Well, I got fabric paint all over me, on my clothes, my hands, I think some of my head too. And then I left the house for work, and when I got here, I got stuck behind a bus that stopped at every single stoplight on Penn Avenue. Hence, I was late. If I were to ask you, how would it feel to be around me all day? Just complaining and nagging, that would probably suck. That wouldn't make sense to hang around me all day. Just like it wouldn't make sense to continue living the world that we live in and being okay with the way things are. In today's world, we're taught to aim for success, and that's fine, but when you're taught to aim for success, that means that you usually either fail or you succeed. It's black or white, there's no gray area. And when people are taught, when people look at it like that, they usually do one of two things. They either, when they fail, they do one of two things. They either hyper-focus on failure, or they avoid acknowledging failure and act like as if it didn't exist. This perspective is a dishonest and deceptive one. It sees failure only as something negative, and it doesn't see the positive outcomes that can be had from failure. Everybody experiences moments of failure in their life at some point or another, and they will continue to do so. And today I'd like to talk to you about ways in which you can look at failure and use that as an opportunity to make things have a positive impact on things. And in that conversation, I will also acknowledge how at Pittsburgh Cares I failed in the goal of my work with youth, how I negatively impacted the youth, and how I was provided an opportunity to deliver programming in a more impactful manner. Pittsburgh Cares is an organization that promotes volunteerism. It connects people with opportunities to volunteer with the goal of making the world a better place. As a program coordinator with Pittsburgh Cares, one of the things I was tasked with was delivering programs for youth that centered on mental illnesses and the stigma or shame surrounding those mental illnesses. As I, proceeded to deliver this programming, I had some hesitation because it was a bit of a mission drift for our organization. Unfortunately, this program was a 2-year program, and this was the 2nd year of the program. The previous executive director had signed on to do this programming, and my executive director was stuck to offer the programming. Even though I had some hesitations, I stepped in and offered the programming. In offering this programming, I came to 3 main realizations. I realized that the programming was something that did not resonate with most of my students. I realized that mental health issues were coming up from the students that I was not trained to deal with or answer questions about. And I realized that the inconsistent attendance at my schools severely impacted my ability to deliver a successful lesson. I thought about this and I thought hard, and I was in a scenario where it was just myself and the students in the classroom, and these problems were occurring. And if I didn't tell anybody about these problems, I could just go on and continue as if nothing was wrong and keep delivering the program, because I had output targets to meet, and I wanted to impress people, and I wanted to finish Public Allies. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm not going to do that because I owe it to these students to do better. So I proceeded to have discussions with my executive director about the programming we were doing and how it was impacting the students. And she thought about it, and then eventually, after a few months, I sat down with my executive director again, and she knew that she had 3 choices in front of her. She could either continue delivering the program, allowing the program to be delivered as it is, she could completely stop the program, or she could shift the focus of the program. Well, she knew that on one hand, she had a program that was funded, and she had expectations to deliver this programming. On the other hand, she had these students who were being impacted by a program in a negative way. My executive director, Deb Hawkins, chose to shift the focus of the program and allowed me to develop curriculum for the program that was focused on leadership development. And while I was allowed to do that, it helped me. It helped me because I could reach the students better. I saw that they were smiling when I talked to them. It wasn't something that their eyes were glazed over and they were zoned out about. And they were excited to come to my room and talk to me. And naturally, they were able to enhance skills that they already had in the topic discussions we were having. In these past few months, I realized that Deb was faced with the position that a lot of people in the nonprofit world are faced with. You're replacing a system that operates a certain way. You're expected to operate a certain way within that system. And you don't try to buck the trend. Well, Deb chose to buck the trend because she was obligated to the people she served to offer the youth good programming. I challenge all of you to think about your jobs, your life, your family, your outside environments, and think about ways in which you might have been complacent with the way things are going. You just let it go on the way it's going. Were there ways in which you could have done things better? Are there ways in which you could do more to support somebody or really come to meet them where they are? And this takes courage, yes, but the courage is easy to get if you realize at the end of the day, the point of you and your breath is to make the world a better place for others. Thank you.